Let's start with part 2. I have already explained to you about this lesson. Children, this lesson is an extract taken from the introduction to the Penguin Book of Interviews, written by Christopher Silvester. Children, part 2 is an extract from an interview of Umberto Eco. He was a professor at the University of Bologna in Italy. He had already acquired a formidable reputation as a scholar for his ideas on semiotics, literary interpretation, and medieval aesthetics. Children, he did all this before he turned to writing fiction. Literary fiction, academic texts, essays, children's books, newspaper articles. His written output is staggering large and wide-ranging. In 1980, he acquired the equivalent of intellectual superstardom with the publication of The Name of the Rose, which sold more than 10 million copies. So, interviewer is Mukund Padmanabhan, and he is from the Hindu paper. Okay, so let us begin with part 2. I am a professor who writes novels on Sundays. So this line is spoken by Umberto Eco. He says that I am a professor who writes novels on Sundays. I get time on Sundays, so I write the novel. The following is an extract from an interview of Umberto Eco. The interviewer is Mukund Padmanabhan from the Hindu. Umberto Eco, a professor at the university, I have already told you about this, that he was the professor at the University of Bologna in Italy, had already acquired a formidable reputation as a scholar. So he had already attained that position. We have already done it. Now coming up to Mukund. Mukund, as the English novelist and academic David Lodge once remarked, I can't understand how one man can do all the things he does. He says that I am not able to understand that Mukund, he commented on one of the novelist, that he talked about David Lodge, that how can a person afford to do so many things at a time. Then Umberto says, maybe I give the impression of doing many things, but in the end I am convinced I am always doing the same thing. Umberto says, maybe you find that I am doing a lot of things, but I am doing the same thing again and again. So Mukund asks, which is? Then Umberto says, now all that is more difficult to explain. I have some philosophical interests and I pursue them through my academic work and my novels. Now Umberto says that maybe it is more difficult, maybe I find it more for you to difficult to explain, rather I can say, that he may give the impression of doing so many things, but he is convinced that he is always doing the same thing, and he has some philosophical interest and he pursues them through his academic work and his novels. Even his books for children are about non-violence and peace. And then I have a secret. Did you know what will happen if you eliminate the empty spaces from the universe? Eliminate the empty spaces in all the atoms. The universe will become as big as my fist. Now he says that in case if you vacate everything, and then what would you do? Then everything would be empty, and it would be empty. There would be empty spaces. There would be empty spaces, and it would be as big as my fist. Fist is muthi. So then he says that it would be as big as my fist in case if I take out all the empty spaces from the universe. Now, similarly, we have a lot of empty spaces in our lives. I call them interstices. Say you are coming. Say you are coming over to my place. You are in an elevator, and while you work in empty spaces, I am waiting for your elevator. Now he says that similarly we have lot of spaces in our lives. We have interstice means a small crack or space, children. An elevator, as you know, it is a lift. So he says that we have many empty spaces in our lives, and then he says interstices means a small crack, दरार जिसे बोलते हैं. तो he call it a small space. Say you are coming over to my place. You are in an elevator. Elevator means lift. And while you are coming up, I am waiting for you. And while you are rising upwards, I am there. This is an interstice, an empty space. I am waiting for you. This is an interstice, an empty space. I work in empty spaces while waiting for you, your elevator, to come up from the first to the third floor. I have already written an article. Now he says that in case if I am waiting for you, that means I am waiting in an open space, empty space. So it is also an empty space. So he says that this article I have already written about the empty space. Mukund, not everyone can do that, of course. You're certain. He's talking, actually, he says that while waiting for the elevator to come up from the first to third floor, he has already written an article. And he had a lot of empty spaces in our lives. He says that we have a lot of empty spaces in our life. Then further, Mukund says that not everyone can do that, of course. Your non-fictional writing, your scholarly work has a certain playful and personal quality about it. Now he says that Mukund quotes that it is not, he observes that Eco's non-fictional writing, his scholarly work, has a certain playful and personal quality about it. So he says it is marked departure from a regular academic style. It is different from regular academic style, which is invariably depersonalized and often dry and boring. He wants to know if Eco has consciously adopted an informal approach or it is something that has just naturally to him. Now, according to this thing, Mukund, he is a little bit, he is asking a question that do you have... as Eco has adopted an informal approach, so it is something that has come naturally to him, or it is he has adopted it. In case if I have some quality, if I'm doing some work, children, so have I learnt it or it is natural? So same thing Mukund asks, that the writing style, is it natural or you have adopted it? Now, Eco, what does Eco say? Umberto Eco says, when I presented my first doctoral dissertation in Italy, one of the professors said, scholars learn a lot of certain subject, then they make a lot of false hypotheses. Now he says Eco presented his first doctoral dissertation. Children, dissertation means a long essay written for the purpose of obtaining a PhD degree. Remember this thing, for PhD degree, when we write a long essay, it is called dissertation. So doctoral dissertation is said to be long essay written for the purpose of obtaining a PhD degree. So Umberto Eco says, now when I presented my first doctoral dissertation in Italy, one of the professors said, scholars learn a lot of a certain subject, then they make a lot of false hypotheses. He says that the scholars he talks about the scholars that whenever when he went over there in Italy, he one of the person he said that with the children, they study a lot, they learn a lot about a certain subject, about a particular subject. The children, they learn a lot, and then they make a lot of false hypotheses. Hypothesis means guess. So whenever they are studying it, they make guesses and then they correct them, and at the end they put the conclusions, and then they write down their conclusion at the times. He began by telling that the story of his research, including his trials and errors. Next, he says, at the same time, he recognized I was right and went on to publish my dissertation as a book, which meant meant to be appreciated. Now, he says that he agreed that I have I have adopted that approach that tells the children that that is appreciated by everyone, because I have made my decision in the form of a book. Then all of them, they admired it. At that point, at the age of 22, I understood scholarly books should be written the way I had done. Now he says that the age of 22, I have understood that it should be written in the same way, because it is admired the way I have written, it is admired in that particular way. By telling the story of the research, this is why my essays always have a narrative aspect. The narrative aspect means the storytelling side. So he says the way I have written my thesis, I have written my essay, it is the same in the form of a book. So it should be written in that form, story type form. So everybody will read in the story type form, children, because everybody likes the stories. In case if you write something else, that nobody would be able to understand that thing, na? So in the story form, in case he says that I have written in a story form, so it was appreciated and admired by everyone. And this is why probably I started writing narratives. Children, narratives means novels. So late, at the age of 50 more or less. He says, I remember that my dear friend Ronald Barthes was always frustrated that he was an essayist and not a novelist. He wanted to do creative writing one day or another, but he died before he could do so. I never felt this kind of frustration. I started writing novels by accident. I had nothing to do one day, and so I started. Novels probably satisfied my taste for narration. Now he tells that he explains that he began by telling the story of his research, children. That in his research it includes trials and errors. And at the same time, he understood that scholarly books should be written the way he had done. Children, this is why his essays always have a narrative aspect. I have already told you narrative means story like, na? Long novels type. So it is in the same way. And this is why he started writing novels so late, at the age of 50 more or less. And he started writing novels by accident. One day he had nothing to do, so he started novels, probably satisfied his taste for narration. And one of his friends, he was disturbed. Ronald was disturbed that he told Umberto that he is not able to pen down things the way Umberto does. So he is not able to write down. Now further he says, talking about novels, from being a famous academic, you went on to becoming spectacularly famous after the publication The Name of the Rose. You have written 5 novels against many more scholarly works of non-fiction, at least more than 20 of them. Now he says that Umberto became spectacularly famous after the publication. When his novel The Name of the Rose was published, Mukund observed that he had written 5 novels against many more scholarly works of non-fiction. Children, these are over 40. So these include a very important and influential work on the study of signs and symbols. However, most people consider Umberto a novelist. He asks Eco if it bothers him, because many people think that he is a novelist. Now, Mukund also talking about novels, from being a famous academic, you went on to becoming spectacularly famous. So he says, at the what age? At least more than 20 of them. So he says over 40. Over 40 among them a seminal piece of work on semiotics. But ask most people about Umberto Eco and they will say, oh, he's a novelist. Does that bother you? Now he says that the people, they think that I am a novelist. Children, seminal means reproductive and semiotics means, listen very carefully, semiotics means the study of the way in which the people communicate through signs and signals. When we communicate through actions, through signs, that is called signs, 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 ishare, then it is called semiotics. So he says that I have written the novel and it is somewhere related with signs and symbols, and on the study of signs and symbols. It is an influential work rather, and it is about signs and symbols. So he says that Eco admits that it does because he considers himself a university professor who writes novels on Sundays. He only get the time on Sundays. And now Mukund asks the next question. The Name of the Rose is a very serious novel. It is a detective yarn at one level, but it also divides into metaphysics, theology, and medieval history. Yet it enjoyed a huge mass audience. Were you puzzled at all by this? Now, when he asks the question that your book is, it is like, it is mixed up with all the subjects, like, so why is it so? So it is a he says that it attracts a lot of mass audience, and it is a detective yarn. Detective means spying and yarn means story. So it is a detective story type, and delves into means goes deep into, and metaphysics is speculations about life. Theology means study of God and religion. So he says that it is a combination of so many things. And don't you think, were you puzzled at all by this, that while writing, were you confused at that particular moment? So Umberto says no, journalists are puzzled and sometimes publisher, and this is because journalists and publishers believe that people like trash and don't like difficult reading experience. Consider there are 6 billion people on this planet. The Name of the Rose sold between 10 to 15 million copies, so in a way I reached only a small percentage of readers. Now he says that I was not confused. He agreed that he was not puzzled. He retorts rather that journalists and publishers are puzzled. Why? Because publishers or journalists, they believe that people like worthless stuff and don't like difficult reading experience. So Mukund asked the reason for the success of the novel now. Could the huge success of the novel have anything to do with the fact that it dealt with a period of medieval history? So he asked the reason for the success. He's asked that is it because it deals with a period of medieval history? So Umberto says that possible, but let me tell you another story, because I often tell stories like a Chinese wise man. My American publisher said, while she loved my book, She didn't expect to sell more than 3,000 copies in a country where nobody has seen a cathedral or studies Latin. So I given an advance for 3,000 copies, but in the end it sold 2 or 3 million in the US. A lot of books have been written about the medieval past far before mine. I think the success of the book is a mystery. Nobody can predict it. I think if I had written the name of the rose 10 years earlier or 10 years later, it wouldn't have been the same. Why it worked at the same time is a mystery. Now children, the last paragraph, Umberto thinks that the success of the book is a mystery. No one can predict. So he says that lot of books have been written about the medieval past before he has written, and he thinks if he had written the name of the rose 10 years earlier or 10 years later, it wouldn't have been the same. Why it worked at the time is a mystery. I hope you have understood the lesson, and then children, do send me the assignment and attendance.